My friend humiliated me because I refused to eat her food.
Maybe your food was gross.
Trigger warning, past harmful relationship with food and tampering with food. I have an ex, Michael, and he basically would make me sick, literally, to get back at me whenever he was upset with me.
He was poisoning you?
That's pretty insane. Arrest him?
Or get one of those guys the Kings had where they would sip their cup.
Ooh, poison
him.
taster.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Are those
mhm.
still out?
I don't think there's really a need for those anymore.
No, I don't think there's a lot of poisoning going on unless you're in like Russia, I guess.
Anyways, he was harmful. I forgot about this. I can see and say that now. It was a horrible time, honestly, and I can't hate him enough. About a year ago, he was nonstop stalking me.
Oh my goodness.
I had to pester the police, turn on my phone camera to record coming and going everywhere. I had friends on alert too. My head was on an effing swivel. We put hours of footage together, and I found a lawyer willing to take my case. And it was with his help that I finally got a restraining order.
Woo!
All right. I moved in with some girls I knew through friends who needed a roommate and sold almost everything I owned to afford the move so quickly. Now he isn't allowed to be near me, but I still find myself feeling cagey in public. I've started going out with my roommates and friends more, and I'm just a hard person to meet up with at a bar. I only eat food maybe by people that I trust or from restaurants. If I don't trust you, I'm not eating it. I might pretend to nibble, but I actually won't eat it. I carry granola bars and some nuts in my bag just in case.
That's tough. I mean, clearly you have a lot of trauma surrounding food and stuff, but that's tough.
Just have a menu of all the things you're allergic to. Make them up so you don't have to eat with people.
Yeah, that's a smart idea.
But then you have to lie everywhere you go.
Yeah, but it's a little bit easier, I think, than people being like, "Why aren't you eating my food?"
Ooh. I can only eat house dairy. I can only eat house onions. Does this have outside onion in it? I can't eat that.
Can't eat that.
House
Sorry.
onion.
Only eat my house onion.
It makes me feel isolated and sad. But I can have panic attacks trying to push too far out of my comfort zone. I feel like the wet blanket of my friend group and feel bad every time I decline an invite. Well, New Year's Eve happened and we all went to a friend's for dinner. It was potluck, so I made a couple of dishes I could eat, and I knew I could eat the food with my 3 roommates because I do trust them. I didn't eat anything outside of this. This isn't new to most people, but it did become a topic of conversation when Tammy started to make comments. I know exactly what Tammy looks like. Tammy's got like a orange tan kind of going on.
I'm getting a picture of it right now.
Yep. Yes. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Awesome Ashley says, you need some intense therapy.
Yeah.
By the way, this comes from That Last by Unicorn. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Riley.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
And guys, what are we here to do?
Read stories.
Goofily.
Give advice.
Goofily. Give
Goofily.
advice goofily.
Give advice goofily.
And if you have anything to add, please put it down below. OP says, I tried to change the subject, as did my roommate and other friends, but she flat out asked, what's your damage anyway? And laughed. I started to tear up. She waved it off like, oh, don't be sensitive. I'm just joking or whatever. So I just broke down and started crying. Oh crap, are you seriously crying? F girl, okay. That was her response?
That's terrible. Like, you see someone crying and you're like, you're seriously crying? Oh, shoot.
I got so angry. So I told her that I have an ex who fed me food I was allergic to and would put stuff in my food as a form of control. That I am in therapy and have deep PTSD. And that it's hard for me to go out to dinners, and this was one of the first times I tried because it's potluck and I knew I could hang out for the New Year's celebration, that my roommates and I were excited because I can try to do something normal after the mistreatment I suffered, and that now I feel like I should just leave. Tammy just got really quiet and just got up and went to another room.
You know what? Good on you for that clap back. Put her in her place.
Like Tammy's going to come back. I also had the music back.
Yeah, she's just going to make it about herself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Classic Tammy.
My roommates managed to mostly distract me, and we did have some fun. We did the countdown, and I even had a few drinks and loosened up a bit. I thought that was it, but Tammy apologized via text.
Wow. You know what? That response, it does feel like she's just kind of like rude and like doesn't really get things. But I also think like she genuinely probably was just being rude and didn't realize that she, had touched a nerve so badly. But she just sounds like a rude person and hopefully had a realization.
She then requested that she tell everyone that she apologized and that we're good.
Yikes. She sounds so rude.
Now so she can stop being iced out of the groups.
That's so funny.
Wait.
She's like, I'm sorry. Can you also message everyone and tell them that I told you I'm sorry?
Dude, that's wild because...
I take it back. She's still the worst.
Yeah, because if this is what iced her out of the groups, then she's been doing stuff for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I asked my roommates, and they shared that after Tammy left the room, most of the people there outside her husband were cold to her and avoided her. She felt so out of place, and they left before the countdown. And now a bunch of people of the friend groups were stopping, inviting her out, or have outright canceled plans with her. Tammy was practically begging me to tell everyone that we're all good now, and I won't be doing that. She did apologize, and I accept that apology. But I won't lie and say we're good. I dealt with a lot of isolation after I left my home church and went agnostic, so I know how hurtful and damaging it can be. But I can't lie and say we're good. Even if she was wasted, what she did and said deeply hurt me and made me not want to try and go out again after almost a year of therapy to help me get past this.
Yes, but also she didn't know that. You can't... I think she was super rude, and I don't think you have to be good with her. But, you can't expect everyone to know your, trauma and stuff.
You know what? I'm going to have to disagree with you here.
You think that everyone should know everyone's trauma?
What Tammy said to OP...
Unacceptable!
I agree.
And the way she went around it, I feel like Tammy could have mediated a little bit better.
Sure. I'm not saying
and Tammy
that...
did the responsible thing by apologizing to OP. But it's not OP's job to tell everybody, we're all good here.
I don't think so, but I also don't think, if someone came to you and was like, we're taking... I don't know. I just think you don't have to, continue it. I don't think you have to do anything either way. Tammy didn't know about your trauma, but she was rude, so I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't give her a second thought,
Oh, yeah, just ignore her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, ask her, what's your damage during the New Year potluck? I've never heard what's your damage. Is that a thing people say?
Old thing.
What does it mean?
What's your damage?
What's your problem?
Oh.
It's like, what's wrong with you?
Oh. I work from home and go to the same 3 bars and almost exclusively with a trusted friend, and that's it. That's the extent of me going out. I have a vision board where I can work myself up to taking a vacation out of town by this time next year. And I feel like that party was a step forward. But she put me 3 steps back. So heck, it might be mean, but F her. It's not my fault or problem. People saw an issue in the way she treated me. Oh, and her excuses were that she was wasted and she's been upset since we met 6 months ago at the housewarming party and I didn't eat her food. Do you guys live in the South?
This is so weird. I feel like I would not be paying that much attention to if I threw a potluck and I was like, someone didn't eat the food that I made.
You would?
If no one ate the food, I'd be like, oh, everyone hated my meal. But if one person, I don't think I'm.
But Tammy, this is who she is. She's from the South. She saw OP as a threat because OP's probably prettier than her or better than her in some aspect. So she saw that and started to hold grudges about her.
Yeah, and she's like, I need to call this girl out.
Yeah. She said she tried to find out foods I like and that at her next gathering and so on and so on. And for some GD reason, it became her life's message to have me eat her food. Why? Because I've cooked since I was a child and everyone loves her food. She caters for events, so, how dare I not eat her food? Call me bitter. I don't care. Maybe she'll learn next time to mind her business. I'm not too worried. I did tell my friends I feel bad she's being iced out, but not enough to lie.
I don't think you have to lie. I think you could have just said, she apologized. Whatever.
I don't like her still, yeah.
I don't think it's a lie to say she apologized. I think you leave it at that. You say, I don't want to hang around her, but she apologized.
Yeah, which is partially true. I feel for her a bit, but just a bit. I hope she's having the day she deserves. We have some edits. Do we do anything else? Are we just done
I
here?
think we just say, if anyone asks what happened, you say she apologized. I don't really want to hang out with her.
Yeah. Edit. Someone asked me for the text she sent for context. Here it is below. Took out names. Hey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Ys.
Hey.
I just wanted to reach out because I've been thinking about the other night, and I feel like some things got blown out of proportion. I was obviously wasted and joking, and didn't mean anything by it at all. I hope you're good. If anything I said upset you, that really wasn't my intention. I honestly didn't know you were still so sensitive about stuff like that, and if I had known you were going to take it like that, I wouldn't have joked around like that.
This is
LOL.
a terrible apology.
Girl, those margaritas were strong. My husband said I had like 6 by that point. Holy crap, right, LMAO? I mean, you know I like to cook. I used to cook the fam growing up. I mean, her and my husband and I met at friend's house because I cook for everyone. That's my love language. I know you get it because you cook all the time, LOL. I try to find out what you like and you won't even eat that. It's just that it's my contribution and you seem to eat everyone else's food, and I guess it's my bad to take that personal, but you know. Anyway, you're probably asleep. Sorry to bother you. I just feel really bad because people are acting super weird with me now, and I'm basically being sort of cold-shouldered by everyone, which feels unfair, but I know you get it, and I've always tried to be welcoming and inclusive. So this whole situation is really hurtful for me, and this is really getting to my husband, and y'all are close, so I don't want this to be blown up any more than it already needs to be, right? Can you please just tell everyone that we talked and that we're good now? I don't want this to turn into a whole thing when it doesn't need to be. I feel like clearing that up would really help smooth things over, and we can laugh about it at next week's Friends Potluck. Anyway, I hope you're feeling better today. Let me know.
That was the worst apology ever.
You were right. She did make that all about her.
That was terrible. Oh my goodness. And also she's admitted to knowing. It seems like she knew that Opie had an issue with like other people's food and stuff.
Dude, my favorite part was when she said, if I wouldn't have known you were going to be that sensitive, I wouldn't have made that joke.
Yeah. She's like, I knew that you still like weren't comfortable with that, but I did it anyway.
Did she say I'm sorry at all in that?
No, she was like, I'm sorry
Pretty sure
that
no.
she said
It was just all like excuses.
I'm sorry that you reacted badly.
Yeah, it was the I'm sorry you
Yeah.
felt that way.
Yeah. That was terrible. I take it back.
Oh, well,
sucks.
6 margaritas. You should be mad at them instead.
No, I'm never telling anyone to like hang out with Tammy. Go away, Tammy.
Stella says, did she just admit that she's only sorry her reputation was
Yes.
effed with?
She said, I
And
feel
then
really
add-
bad that no one wants to hang out with me anymore.
And then added emotional manipulation? Oh, Sean says she is from the deep south 100%.
Yeah, no one wants to hang out with you because you stink, girl.
I mean, I'm going to read everyone's update. I'm going to skip these comments. But like around here in California, you are proud of your cooking, but it's not like a staple people have about their cooking around here, right?
No, I don't think so.
What
No,
about
there's very much not like the southern like notion that it's like if you don't eat a meal that someone made that it's like you're basically spitting on them.
I mean, there's like a there's
It could
like
be
a
rude,
general
but it's not
rudeness.
like catastrophic like it is in the South.
Bro, when my mom went gluten-free and she was cooking food for people and like she was still figuring out the kinks and everything to it, it was tough being at home, man.
Yeah.
It was like,
No, it's like you
I
have to
can't
figure
believe
out.
Uncle Matt said this or that this person said that. Now we're all good. We actually prefer her food better now.
Yeah, when I started cooking with like and baking and stuff and like doing more vegan or non-meat stuff, my dad complained. He was like, "Where's the meat?"
So you got some fish there. Is it like that in the Midwest though? Dakota, like the food
I
thing?
mean, not really. I hadn't experienced that.
Yeah, so she definitely is. Is this right? Tammy's are the worst. Okay, Tammy's with the I could see. Tammy's with the Y, they just talk a lot. Also, this Tammy talks a lot.
It's true. She does. She's a talker.
Every Tammy I know talks a lot. That was not an apology. Awesome, Ashley. Around here, if you don't need it, we just think that you're doing some weird diet or adhere to some weird food preference. Yeah,
That's it.
that's true. Well, we got an update 5 days later. I think Tammy crashes out and goes to Opie's house.
Yeah, I think she gets worse.
Yeah?
I think it's just gonna get worse from Tammy.
What do you think, Dakota?
It's getting stanky from Tammy.
Ooh, and Tammy like bakes her a pie or something too.
She's like, eat my food. Eat it.
And then she shows up with like 2 buffet trays. Just like throwing stuff at OP.
A few people asked for an update, and honestly, I wasn't sure if there was going to be one because this honestly feels so boring. But here we are. I chose to stick with my plan and have no regrets. I did tell her, I did tell her I accept her apology, but I wasn't going to say we're good because we're not.
Nice.
She's not a safe person for me, and more, her actions have caused me to see her as unsafe. Whatever. All that means is I don't want to hang out with her. I'll be cordial when I see her, but no, we are not friends. No biggie. Not a requirement. Low stakes, right? Well, I was overwhelmed by texts and being asked what happened, so I chose to be neutral and just send the screenshots of her text to me, her apology, which, mind you, did not have the word sorry in it.
No, it wasn't much of an apology.
You feel,
Mm-mm.
That way, people could make their own choices, and I feel I was being transparent and not trying to steer the opinions of anyone. That's a good point.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, this is what she said. You can be friends with her if you want.
This is literally what she said.
Yeah, everyone's like, what happened with Tammy? And you just send a screenshot and you go, there you go, bye.
Yeah. At this point, I just send people links to like a Google Doc folder.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of screenshots and stuff.
Here's the screenshot. Here's my opinion on Reddit. Here's some comments. I think this person is doing a live stream on it. You could look at that too.
It's a letterboxed review of her text.
This past Monday, there was a group gathering. I went because the surprise portion of a birthday celebration was for a friend, and I did not want to miss out on that. I didn't outright promise to be there, but I know it meant a lot to my friend if I could make it. It was at a restaurant, which was a last-minute change that wiped most of my excuses and made me feel more okay about going. I figured I could stay for a bit, give my gift, and leave if/when needed early. I met up with my roomies ahead of time, and we spent time together before everyone else arrived, which was also special in and of itself. Tammy was there. She and Wyatt were among the first to arrive. Her husband's name's Wyatt.
Tammy and Wyatt. What a pair.
Wyatts are strange. You know a strange Wyatt, right,
I
guys?
don't think I know any Wyatts.
I think I played baseball with a strange Wyatt.
Yeah,
once.
dude. They play baseball.
There was a strange guy with the last name Wyatt who went to school with us.
Ben Wyatt. Isn't that a character?
Maybe somewhere.
I mean, statistically, probably somewhere at some point, Ben Wyatt.
Isn't there a person out there called Fred Wilkin?
No, Parks and Rec.
Oh, yeah, Ben Wyatt. Oh, I thought of Adam Scott whenever you said that. I was like, is that...
Adam Scott plays Ben Wyatt.
Okay,
But
yeah,
his
so
first
there
name's
is
not.
Ben Wyatt.
But his first name's
There's also
not.
an obituary for Fred Wilkin. So there's no Fred.
He has passed.
Oh,
That's funny.
man.
I thought Adam Scott, but I was like...
Yeah, you guys are making me feel crazy.
But that's his last name, not his first name.
I didn't say it was.
No,
I
it's
said
just
Ben
more that-
Wyatt.
It's not that I wasn't trying to make you feel crazy. It was just the notion that it's like, there's a Ben Wyatt somewhere,
No, I
right?
said
It's
a
like,
character.
yeah,
Unbelievable.
that's a good, there's gotta be.
All right, so Tammy just arrived with Wyatt. She brought cookies. I called that.
Yeah, she's like, did anyone want food? Please.
Most people politely took one. My roommates all declined, which immediately made the vibe weird. I mean, you could visibly see Tammy get upset. When she got to me, she looked at me and said, in a snippy tone, "Of course not,"
Dude, Tammy, why are you trying to poke the bear?
and moved on to the other table without waiting for a response. That started up some tensions with my roommates, and who were already clearly annoyed on my behalf, but I asked them to please calm down and not make a scene. This isn't the time or place, and I really don't care enough for all of the drama. They did keep calm-ish, but they also stuck close to me the entire party, which I appreciated more than I can say. How can you be begging for someone to say, hey, we're good, right? And then do this?
Yeah, literally make it worse. Make yourself look more like the antagonist. Tammy.
I managed to stay the majority of the party and got to talk to new and old friends. It was one of the most normal nights I've had in a very long time. When the birthday boy Jake opened my gift, part of it included food, a dish he's loved for years, and specifically asked me to make for his birthday. He was genuinely excited and thanked me a bunch, which was sweet. But it was also the moment where Tammy suddenly made this sound. It was almost a gasp of sound. And we looked at her as she looked like she was about to cry and rushed to the bathroom. What did it sound like?
That was better.
Yeah, I'll take that. Her husband Wyatt followed her, and they left pretty quickly after that. It's because you're probably prettier, and you took the spot of cook in the friend group.
Yeah.
That's why she hates you.
Yeah, she's upset.
Imagine if we had like another pescatarian in the friend group.
We
You would have
do.
no place.
We do have another pescatarian. in the
Who?
group. Well, actually, our friend Maddie is no longer a pescatarian.
See, now you are still relevant in the group. Imagine if there was another one. You wouldn't like. We'd have to get rid of you.
No one would even care about me.
Yeah.
I'd be obsolete.
Exactly. Raven Rue says the Southern competition for best cook or baker has lots of underhanded snark and gossip. Whole families will stop talking to each other over food. Yeah. Later that night, in the group chat, Tammy apologized again, but this time it was more about how hard it is for her to feel unappreciated for her cooking and baking, since it's her love language and she's not near her family.
It doesn't feel very loving when you do it. Feels like it's your hate language. It's your passive aggressive language.
Yeah, this stuff doesn't translate here, girl. She talks about how cooking is how she shows love and how she learned from her Ami and grew up with German cuisine and diverse recipes, and how painful it is when that's not really received the way she intends. She does this to share joy and connect with people. And since Wyatt is the friend and she's just the plus one, it's very important to her to connect with all of us. And this makes her feel crappy. There was more, but I muted the chat and didn't look at it again until today after work. When I checked about 30 minutes ago, I saw that while she never mentioned me by name, she framed the situation as being shamed for loving people through food and holding our opinions of her food in high regard. A few people responded that it wasn't about her cooking, and someone did bring up what she said to me at the New Year's Eve party. She replied that she already apologized. And then someone else posted a screenshot of her text and explained why it wasn't really an apology. Stop!
Oh, this is about to get messy.
Oh my God!
This is about to get messy. Oh no, she's gonna be mad at you, OP.
Yo.
She's gonna be like, you're spreading lies. And OP's gonna be like, girl, this is your own text. Yikes. What did Tammy do? What did Tammy do? I need to know what Tammy did.
I love this unhinged group chat. Holy cow. At that point, she tagged me directly and said something like, okay then, sorry, OP. I'm sorry. And immediately followed with how she feels like she's walking on eggshells and needs space. So she won't be accompanying Wyatt to events for a while unless it's a birthday.
Well, thank goodness for that. I didn't want you around anyway.
Guys, I found Tammy, actually. I'm sorry.
No. Where'd you go? What you got?
That's just like Tammy.
We don't know how old this friend group is, but that lady definitely goes to my grandmother's church. And yes, some of them are nice. Some of the girls with the bob haircuts are nice. Bro, if you made that brunette, that looks like my Aunt Tammy, no joke. Oh my gosh. The next birthday's coming up, and it's one of my roommates. My roommate replied snarkily and said, that's okay. You don't have to come for that.
Dang, your roommates are a ride or pass away for you.
A few people laugh reacted to it and noticed Tammy's icon drop down. So she definitely read it. She just hasn't responded yet. And your best response can be you searching up OK Storytime on iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts and listening to more stories just like this. We got a little bit left. I love this drama.
Yeah, this is juicy drama.
Oh my.
Keeps coming. Yeah, I think you just kind of stay out of it as much as you can. I think that your friends will
Do your bidding.
fight it. Yeah, they'll fight for you. So I don't think you even need to do anything.
You don't have to lift a finger, dude.
No.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then this is what you got to do. If she works at a restaurant, you should do like a YouTube video and be like, food testing from this restaurant.
It all sucks. It tastes like it was made with hate.
Oh my gosh. And Opie's not even doing anything.
Yep, he's literally just living.
At this point, I'm honestly exhausted. I don't want a public reckoning or turn a group chat into a courtroom. I just wanted to exist in a shared space without my boundaries being treated like a suggestion rather than respected space. I'm still keeping my distance and leaning on the people who make me feel safe, like my roommates and Jake. I had my therapy appointment and I feel good letting this go and just moving past it. I'm less angry and more indifferent. I don't know where this all lands, but I'm trying very hard to not take on responsibilities for emotions that aren't mine to manage. That's it. L's in the chat for Tammy.
That Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, Jake. That does look like
Bubble
a good
boy.
Jake.
That's how everyone smiles when they see Tammy getting called out in the group chat.
That would have been crazy.
I would have given up my vintage MacBook to be a part of this friend group and experience that.
I don't want to be a part of this friend group. I just want to like be in the group chat. I want to be accidentally added to this group chat.
I want to be in this group.
I'm good with my group.
Anyways, that's the end of that story.
Sure is.
We got another one. Dakota, you want to swap places?
Yeah.
I refuse to support my friend's coming out because she's having an affair.
Oh no.
And this comes directly from the r/okstorytime subreddit. Hi everyone, I'm in a pickle and very confused right now with a situation with one of my good friends who I'll call Sarah. Not real name, obviously.
Obviously.
Sarah, 27 female, and I, 24 male, met about 3 years ago at my older sister's wedding. She was not that close to my sister, but was invited to the wedding anyhow, and me and her got to talking and became really close friends over the years. By the way, this comes from Papa Pablo. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Riley.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, she moved to the city I live in here in the UK, and since she didn't have many friends, I introduced her to my friend group, and she became really close friends with everyone in it. I'm attracted to the same gender, so most of my friends are queer as well, and we'd all joke about Sarah being our token straight friend for diversity. We're a really solid group of friends, and I genuinely love everyone in it, but that has changed over the last 2 weeks. So Sarah got married 2 years ago to her longtime boyfriend, who I'll call Ben. Ben's actually a great guy who I've come to love and respect as much as I do Sarah over the years. Where I'm from was a small village, so being openly queer my whole life, since I was 9, opened me up to a lot of discrimination over the years, from straight men specifically. So when I was meeting Ben for the first time, and from everything Sarah had told me about him, I was worried it was going to be another straight man who discriminated me to my face just for being myself. Thankfully, I was proven completely wrong, as Ben's first words to me were, "Hey, queen."
Hey, slay queen.
Hey, queen.
Maybe he just knows.
Yeah.
He's a secret agent.
And we got on like a house on fire. This all leads me to why I'm posting for you all today. Last week, I was having dinner with Sarah while Ben was away visiting her family. Nothing unusual, as I tend to keep her company when he's away, as she gets very lonely. To my surprise, when I arrived at Sarah's flat, there was a woman there who I call Bum, because that's what she is.
Yeah.
Bum, 31 female, was stretched out of the couch like she owned the place and didn't even get up to greet me when I came in, and waved to me without even so much looking in my general direction.
That's a cat.
Yeah.
It's not
You
a person.
go,
That is an actual cat.
I had never met Bum before and just thought Sarah had made a new friend. Sarah and I talked in our kitchen while Bum was sprawled across the couch like a cadaver. We all sat down for some dinner and I saw Sarah and Bum sitting oddly close to each other. I started to ask Bum about herself, but she didn't seem interested in me whatsoever. So I moved back to talking to Sarah. I dropped my fork at one point and knelt down to get it, and when I did, I saw Sarah and Bum quickly pulling their hands away from each other under the table as if they'd been holding hands. That's when Sarah told me. She said that she's a sapphic and has known for a while, but didn't know how to tell me or any of her friends and wanted to tell me first, as I've been out for the longest time out of all our friends. She then told me that her and Bum had been seeing each other for a year behind Ben's back, and that she was going to wait a while and get her assets in order before breaking the news to Ben, so to speak.
Stop
A-hole.
it.
Immediately a-hole. Immediately, this is no longer my friend.
What?
Yeah, no, I'm like, I'm sorry. You're either going to tell Ben right now or I'm going to go tell Ben.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that makes me like, should anyone ever be married ever?
You gotta have hope.
Like
I
if
don't
that,
know,
I
it works
know,
out for
but
some
like,
people.
it's just that exact thing where it's like, yeah, I married my wife and we're in love and we're gonna build a life. Just kidding. She's been cheating on me with a bum for a year.
Then it's like, should you be in a relationship with anyone? You have to open your heart up to get
Be in a
broken.
relationship.
But
But she's literally talking, I got to get my assets in order. Like, what does that mean?
I don't know. This person just
win the
sucks.
divorce?
The whole time, Sarah and Bum were smiling and giggling with each other and kissing, and I just felt disgusted by both of them.
This person's like, what do you mean? You like ladies? You should support this 100%.
Well, OP's a man and does not like ladies.
Ooh.
I thought
Get
OP
it.
was a lady.
No. Yeah. Oh, they're like, OP, you're queer. You should be fine with me being a queer cheater. Right?
You get it. You like your bits. I like my bits. We'll all like the bits that we like together, even if I'm married to the wrong bits.
Ben is a good friend to me and has been nothing short of an incredible husband to Sarah these last few years and has supported her so much with her parents passing away, losing friends too early, work issues, and so much more. And to see her floating about her affair to my face like this made me so angry. But I kept my cool. I was quiet the whole time they were telling me the details of their affair and how they loved each other when Sarah eventually asked if I was okay since I'm so quiet. I told her in a calm tone, I understand how hard it is coming out, and I know the pain and self-doubt it creates in a person having gone through it. I said I'm proud of her for coming out and finally being able to be herself completely, but that the way that she's doing it is selfish and effing disgusting and disrespectful to Ben. Yeah, call her out. Good on you, OP.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a
Good
little
on
bit.
you.
Yeah, that might just be a little bit out of order of you there.
She did not take it well. I don't care about her. She sucks. Her and Bum started screaming at me that they're so happy and in love and that Ben could never love her like Bum does.
Because he's got the wrong bits.
I don't care. I don't care. Then break up with him, you coward.
Truly.
Eventually, after 10 minutes of verbal beratement from the two of them, I left the house with Sarah in tears and Bum comforting her, saying, "It's okay, baby. He just doesn't get us." What the F? After a night of sleep and talking to my boyfriend about the situation of the dinner, I waited a few days until Ben got home and asked him around my place to tell him everything. Ben was heartbroken like I'd never seen before. He was completely broken and went through all the stages of grief over the next 3 hours I spent with him. Eventually, he accepted what I was saying and said thanks for telling him. And he'll be getting a lawyer since he thought Sarah was cheating for a while, but figured he was being paranoid since he was cheated on in his last relationship he had just before meeting Sarah. Ben's now moved out and got himself a lawyer and found a mountain of proof for this affair Sarah was having. Sarah called me screaming on the phone for outing her and hurting Ben like this, and that she was going to tell him on her own time, and that I don't support queer people because of what I did.
What?
is queer.
Time out. Aren't you an active participant in this community?
Uppy is an active gay man.
I just like how this girl was trying to be like, you hurt Ben. No, I didn't cheat on him for a year. That was you, stupid.
Yeah. I didn't cheat on him and laugh about it and giggle and be all happy about it. That was you.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Just not even a shred of like
remorse.
Just full-blown entitlement where it's like, well, yeah, it's like, I don't even like him like that because I like ladies. It's like, I've
Okay,
known
then
him
why
for
are you
years
with
too.
him?
I just didn't know how to. Then why'd you marry him?
Why are you with him? You suck. I told her I support queer people, not cheating bums like her and Bum, and told her to get stuffed and that we're done and blocked her number. Now I feel like I did the right thing. I can understand why it was so hard for Sarah to come out, as even though she has so many queer friends thanks to me, there's still a lot of shame where we live when it comes to being queer. But her cheating on her husband is just a deplorable way to go about this, and the fact she had no remorse or care for Ben for what she'd done had led me to do this and tell him. A lot of our mutual friends are telling me I was wrong for doing that and outing Sarah to her husband, and calling me every slur under the sun for it.
Every slur under the sun.
I'm sorry, are
I'm
they calling
taking
you
that
like
one.
homophobic slurs?
Yeah.
Because that's pretty hypocritical, one. And also, they were just saying, oh, you can't tell, it's outing, you can't tell her husband. that she's cheating. That's
Loophole.
the loophole. I can cheat on you if I'm not out.
Loophole. Gay cheating is illegal to tattletale on.
They just passed it at the Senate.
Yeah, they just did that.
And using Sarah's victim script of not supporting queer people. OP is queer.
Yeah, but you can also not support.
Absolutely. But this is stupid.
Yeah, no, it's just I don't know. Anybody who knows all of this information and then goes against UOP,
Bad friend. No, I wouldn't be friends with them either.
stupid.
Sarah and Bum are apparently official on social media now, and I've lost about 2/3 of my friends because of it.
I lost my friend from the torso down.
As they're siding with Sarah and Bum for coming out and totally ignoring the fact she's been having an affair.
Also, mind you, this is one of our own.
Oh my goodness, you're so right, OP. You're so in the right, and Sarah sucks.
Yeah, very bad.
This whole situation has me effed up and anxious beyond belief with my depression spiraling because I've lost so many people who I thought I'd always have to support me, and I feel confused and lost. By the way, I'd be confused if you didn't listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
You're sad now, but the friends that you lost weren't friends worth having.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they suck. Anyone
this
who
doesn't
like
make any sense.
excuses this behavior is not your friend.
Or not a good one.
No.
What are we talking about? Like, cheated on her husband for a year.
Like,
It's
cheated
just
on
like
her
blind dogma. It's just like
Yeah.
the people who are like, well, she's queer, so she didn't do anything wrong. She's living her
She is
truth.
queer. We absolve her. Any sin she cannot make. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, just living your truth doesn't apply when you're like actively hurting others. If that's your truth, then you are going to be actively
Alone.
put in jail or, made to be a pariah.
So am I the a-hole for outing Sarah and exposing her affair to her husband? No. I'd appreciate any comments about how I handled this situation, as I know I could have done something different, but the fact I've lost so many friends is making me doubt myself. You didn't do anything wrong. My boyfriend says I did the right thing, and I love and respect his opinion, so I've come to Reddit to see what other opinions are about my actions.
Yeah, they lost you.
Yeah, they
OP.
lost you. They lost someone who was a good person and a good friend. Thanks for reading this. I know it's a long post and will read as many comments as I can. Much love to you all. Have a good day, everyone. And comment 1 says, not the a-hole. I had a family member come out after years of marriage. The first person she told was her spouse because she knew he'd be hurt, but she needed to be her authentic self. She completely untangled that marriage before she started dating because she's a sapphic, not an inconsiderate POS. Sarah obviously thought just because you're attracted to the same gender, you'd support her. But just sharing the same community doesn't mean you agree with her choices to not only cheat on him in their shared home, but to have so little respect that she's openly discussing how best to F her husband over. That's just low, and quite frankly, the friends you've described seem to only be interested in someone's spicy identity, not their choices or how they conduct themselves. A good friend makes you a better person and questions your choices, not just bobblehead nods. Comment 2 says, the friends that you have lost are not true friends and obviously would probably do the same thing or have done what Sarah has in the past, which is why they sided with her. With her cheating, the first person she should have told is Ben and explain her side to him, not tell others about it first and then act like she's done nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the a-hole for being supportive for Ben. She put you in a very awkward situation when you were friends with both, and she can't have expected you to not tell him, as that would have made you the bad friend to him. Yeah, no, I don't know what she was expecting you to do there, and it's shocking to me that there are so many people that were willing to just let that go and support her. So you're not the a-hole.
Blind loyalty.
Raven Run says you can't be responsible for someone's stupid choices, queer, straight, bi, or non-binary. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, even if you're competing under the rainbow flag. So true. But that's the end of that story, folks. And we've got another one coming right
Yay! This one's just for Dakota. I picked it out. We ran a little short, but I'm like, this is going to be perfect for Dakota.
Yeah. My husband ignores me for video games and says I'm being cold.
Well, then maybe you should stick to video games.
I'm concerned about my husband, Steve. In reality, all my husband does is maybe go to the gym in the morning, work, come home, watch TV on his phone, or play video games. He just watches TV on his phone?
It's concerning.
I'm not going to say anything because a lot of people watch us on their phones.
I do.
But
I do watch TV
we're
on
not
my phone.
TV.
Yes,
I
we
watch
are.
TV
To
on
some
my
people,
phone.
we are TV. Are we
Okay.
TV to you guys?
We're educational.
The amount of gaming Steve does is constantly fluctuating. By the way, this comes from user intermittentgamer99, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Riley.
And we are here to collectively give good advice goofily. But we don't have all the answers. We only know what we know. So let us know what you know in the comments. OP says, sometimes he won't touch the PS5 for a week. Sometimes he'll manage to play 30 hours in less than a week.
That's a part-time job.
That literally is a part-time job. Wow. That's more than a part-time job. 12 hours is a part-time
Those are
job.
rookie numbers, baby. You got to pump them numbers up. So you're a real gamer. Well, that's only 5 hours a day.
I can't
Wait,
I
imagine.
wish I had 5 hours.
I can't
Six
imagine.
hours a day, 5 days a week.
I can't imagine playing 6 hours of video games a day. That's crazy to me.
Dude, sometimes you just can't.
That's crazy to me.
Honestly, I haven't been playing games like that, but for a long time in my life.
That's crazy.
That was the number one goal. Be able to play games for 12 hours. But not anymore.
Apparently, we are TV for people. Let's go.
Woo!
Yeah, dude.
We're on the big
We're TV, man. We're freaking TV.
TV.
TV. During those times of peak gaming, our child and I won't hardly have any interaction with Steve, and he won't hardly help around the house outside of just basic picking up. You cannot play 30 hours of games when you have a child unless those 30 hours pay you. That's crazy.
Absolutely not.
Steve has no hobbies or friends outside of video games. He's admitted to me before that he really doesn't like going to the gym. He just goes to get fit. So not even that is enjoyable to him. I try to constantly encourage Steve to get out of the house independently from me, try new things, or get together with friends. He will go out with me and our kid, but that usually just ends being something like running errands or groceries or detailing his truck at the car wash and then coming home. I understand that sometimes that's what quality time as a family looks like because of how busy life can get. But he can't just simply go out just to do something enjoyable. Occasionally, we will go to the gym and swim at the pool as a family, but that's maybe once every other month. All of his gaming friends are people he grew up with who live within a short driving distance, but he claims he has no interest in hanging out with them, that they're just gaming friends.
It sounds like he's like, if this is new, it sounds like he's kind of depressed.
Yeah, it kind of does. Because Tate rolled up into the house yesterday with a friend he made from gaming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from Fortnite.
So it's like the exact opposite
Yeah.
of that.
I will say, during that time, Tate didn't really he like just moved to Tennessee. He had some friends, but he was like really hanging out with my friends. And he proactively went out and made a friend from video gaming. Still, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
No, I
mean,
think it's really
yeah.
possible. And I think this guy seems like if like he has nothing that he enjoys and he doesn't even really enjoy gaming, that sounds like depression.
What do you guys think? Do your husbands do this, ladies that got the ring on your left hand, ring finger? I said that wrong. Ignore me.
Keon plays games a ton, but he also lives an entire life, you
Yeah.
know, in
He also
between
has- yeah.
playing video games.
This is true.
Additionally, Steve doesn't know how to pace himself when it comes to his job. He's such a hard worker that his boss has told him to go home and rest or to stop doing work from home on his days off on multiple occasions.
I sometimes catch myself typing up stuff like at home. I'm like, I can't do this.
My
I
boyfriend
can't.
just got called in on the weekend for his job, and I was like, I would not go in. If someone texted me and said, you had to, maybe for this job, but like for that job, I would not go in.
No.
But even for this job, it would be really hard to convince me.
No
Unless you were
way.
like, it's only gonna be an hour, I'd be like, nah.
I
my
did have to
weekend.
re-record an ad with Keon. I was gonna ask you, but I didn't ask you because I knew you would not like doing that.
I wouldn't have liked it, but I probably would have done it.
Noted.
Maybe. That's just me right now saying that. That's
Noted,
totally,
noted,
I'm not.
noted.
That's not a
It's me in this
confirmation.
moment right now. It's not
Yeah.
legally binding.
Yeah, not legally binding.
You sound like Ryan was like, I'm going to marry Kelly. What's her last name?
I
Kapoor?
don't know.
Kelly
Yeah.
Kapoor for the rest of my life. That may change tomorrow or
yeah.
next week.
Yeah. Ask me again later.
His job is salaried, so his pay is not dependent upon the amount of hours he puts in. All of his work colleagues are taking mental health days off taking multiple vacations a year, taking extended days off for holidays, but he never does. And he judges those who do by insinuating they're lazy or irresponsible.
Yeah, this guy needs like an outlet that's not just gaming. It's concerning.
If he's not working or gaming or watching TV, he's pacing around the house and inspecting it, talking about the chores him and I need to get done, almost verbally scolding himself for not having something done. That's interesting to have that and the juxtaposition of playing games 30 hours a week.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and it fluctuates, but like, does he see video games as like this like end goal where it's like once everything else is taken care of, he can just do
I play my
that?
video games. It does feel like that.
Well, also, I feel like it depends on the games he's playing because some games you keep things in motion and you're kind of doing a little job on the game. If that makes sense. Like I'm thinking of like the Smurf game or Sims. You got to make sure everyone's using the bathroom, everyone's on rotation, everyone's doing that.
Yeah.
I would like to see what kind of games he's playing because he always has to have something going or happening.
Yeah.
He's playing with his buddies, so it's probably,
Co-op.
probably like Arc Raiders Battlefield.
No, got it.
I always associate Steve's obsession with cleanliness with childhood trauma since he had a parent who was awful when the state of the house was not exactly how they expected it to be. But the longer we've been together, the better he's gotten. Lately, he's been fatigued and quick to anger. His anger has been pretty prevalent in everything he does. He's been much more irritable about the state of the house, even though I feel like I'm busting my butt to have the entire house clean before he even gets home. I have a remote job and can get up and clean throughout the day. He's exploded on strangers out of road rage twice in the last month in front of our kid for silly mistakes, which I think can be dangerous behavior because of how threatening his appearance is. He is 6'4", 240. That's a big boy. I've known him since we were 16, and he has never behaved like that. Last weekend, I overheard him admitting to his gaming buddy, who is also his childhood best friend, that he's been irritable lately, and he doesn't know why.
It sounds like depression. Sounds like he's going through like a long depressive episode.
Yeah.
And I would say he needs to go to therapy.
Tuma?
Could be. I mean,
No, I think it's probably. I think he's probably
depression.
depressed. Time for some therapy. You're depressed. This morning, he acted downright depressed when getting ready for work. It seemed like it was almost impossible for him to leave. He called me right after he left, and it was like he could barely speak. He said he needed a vacation or something, that he's tired and doesn't understand why. I was honest and explained to him that I don't think he takes time to do things that actually fulfill him, that he overprioritizes his job and how our house looks, so he's probably feeling burnt out and empty. He needs to have something that fills his cup so he doesn't feel like he's barely surviving between vacations. Hiking, camping, concerts, spookhousing?
What?
Spookhousings.
Don't know what that means.
Probably like just haunted houses.
I don't know.
Do you guys just live in a spooky place that's haunted house season all the time?
Spook Housing in California features top-rated haunted houses attractions for 2025.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Baking and cooking and dancing or family events. Just like local fairs, carnivals, my kids' school events, coaching, kids' sports, local basketball leagues, because he loves basketball.
Dude,
and is
this
amazing
guy's-
at it. 6'4", 240.
Dude, he kind of sounds like me.
Sounds like you.
6'4"?
Dude,
Sounds like you, but smaller.
Yeah.
Is this guy
You're
me?
6'8".
He works all the
6'8",
time?
280.
He's game. Dude, wow. Yeah, this is me.
Are you
That's my height. That's how big I am and how much I weigh. Yeah. I am this guy.
I am exactly this guy.
He could be getting back into fashion. The dude cares a lot about his appearance. Hair, makeup, nails, individual therapy, couples therapy, going out with friends. Even gaming together are all activities that I've encouraged him to do with me or independently in the last year. He's either done it with me for a very short time, then gave up, or just completely rejected me. And I ended up doing these activities without him while he just sat at home and gamed. I plan on trying to be better about emotionally connecting with him or spending quality time with him. I believe our spicy sleep life is pretty satisfactory on both ends. We are both very comfortable and open with each other. We love the idea of experimenting with new ideas. Do it several times a week. A few weekends ago, he blew up on me and told me that I don't care about him or his feelings after I spent a weekend at a family event and went to a spoon house.
What are you guys
Spoon?
doing? Spoon house? Spook housing?
Spoon house or spook house?
What is
Can we
going
get a spoon
on?
house Google search?
Spoon house.
House of spoons.
I'm
Is it a
confused.
restaurant?
Yeah, he just needs therapy, dog.
Yeah,
Because
therapy,
he's not
therapy.
putting this on you. Like, you don't care enough. It's like, dude, of course I do. I'm literally out here trying to help you always, and you're just not reciprocating it at all.
It's like
Spoon
from
House.
Korean restaurant.
Spoon
Dude,
House,
I just went
Korean
to
food.
There's a Thai place right around the corner from us. So good. Apparently, Keon goes there all the time.
Keon always knows the best spots.
Yeah, but Sam took me there. It was really yummy.
Oh, good.
Anyway, I went to this mysterious spoon house, a spook house, not sure which one, with my younger brother. My husband was invited to both activities, but denied. He said, you just do whatever you want and don't really care if I'm involved or not. But it honestly feels like he's angry because I don't sit at home with him all weekend, every single weekend.
Yeah, the issue here is that this man is depressed and he doesn't know what to do or why he feels like this. And so he's putting all of this anger and resentment that he's feeling towards himself on you.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs to go to therapy.
Exactly. Spot on.
Spawn.
It feels like all he wants me to do is cook and clean for him while he games. It feels like he is the one that doesn't care to connect with me. My kid and I stayed home last weekend, and he ended up spending almost 10 hours gaming between Saturday and Sunday, and all of those hours were played right in the middle of the day. He didn't get off until I shared with him that I was very disappointed, since we had discussed me intentionally clearing my schedule to spend quality time with him. I honestly kind of gave up trying to connect recently because he would repeatedly reject me or not follow through with plans we agreed upon, and he constantly refuses to go out with family and friends, so I just started going out without him. Now I'm starting to think all of these behaviors are less of him not caring and more of some underlying mental health issues.
Yes.
That he's
You
probably,
figured it out.
yeah, exactly, that he may have been dealing with since we met. He hates the idea of therapy, and I think the idea of antidepressants is not even something he would be willing to discuss because of how much medication has been demonized in his family. By the way, I would never demonize you if you went and listened to full episodes with stories like this one on your favorite podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Please just search okstorytime. Please.
Yeah, you have to have a really serious conversation about saying you need therapy. You need like a doctor to help you because it's not your fault. I think at least it's not your fault that you are experiencing these feelings. You can't, help yourself out of this on your own.
It's shocking because he works out and he only does it to stay fit.
Yeah.
Because I was like in a kind of like bad spot. I worked out. Those endorphins helped me get out of that state of mind. It does sound like a chemical imbalance.
He needs to find he needs to find a therapist, and then he needs to find like a type of exercise that he actually enjoys.
Pickleball. It's like if you broke your arm and you were like, well, I don't want to go to a doctor. I don't need to go to a doctor. It's fine. It's going to heal. It'll heal. I just won't move it. It's like, yeah, but you need a cast. It's like, no, I don't. That's artificial. That's just like, that's not not real. That's not really my body. It's like, yeah, but it's like you need it so your arm heals right.
You need it.
It's like the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's really the same thing. I plan on having a discussion with him to express my worry for him, but I feel like he shuts down and gets defensive if I ever mention spending too much time on his phone or his PlayStation. I feel like I've been battling with my husband's tech use pretty much the entirety of our marriage. It's just jumped back and forth from different devices. Does anybody have any ideas on how I can approach this? And that is the end of that story.
Therapy.
Yeah,
Awesome Ashley says, technically you can do virtual therapy on your phone, so you don't really have to leave the house until you're ready.
And he's already on it.
Let's just do that.
Yeah, it's like,
different TV.
I think it's all in the way that it's packaged and presented to him. If he gets real defensive, it's like, this isn't really about, like, I'm not trying to shame you. I'm not trying to wrong you. I'm just trying to tell you that,
you need help.
The state you're in is unsustainable. And you don't need to just white knuckle it and try to fix it. You can actually get help for it.
Absolutely. Rini says, this is screaming ADHD burnout to me. Hubby went through something very, very similar. And, I think we just need to get a doctor and a therapist involved and make sure it's not something worse. And it might be something easily fixable. It just might be medication.
Therapy or divorce? I don't think it's divorce yet. No.
Yeah, I think we just need to really push him to get some help.
Yeah, ADHD burnout.
Yeah,
that's a thing.
Definitely could be the way that he's like so locked into the games and his phone, and also like, I don't know, clearly there's that like the childhood thing of keeping the house clean.
Yeah.
It feels like,
can't stay still for long, can't enjoy life.
Yeah, he might be.
Always is like proactively pursuing or like making sure things are rolling. That's tough.
Sure is. But that's the end of the episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.
Hey, wait a minute. Don't go anywhere. Don't leave. We have bonus stories that we think you're going to really like. So stay tuned for the next one.
I skipped my friend's wedding and I refuse to hide the reason why.
You tell them the truth.
I, 35 female, am still friends with some of the people I went to college with. One of them, Debbie, fake name, 36 female, got married this past January after being engaged for 2 years. By the way, this comes from Complex Anteater 607. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Dakota.
And OP says, early in the planning process, Debbie had asked my 6-year-old daughter, who was 5 at the time, to be the flower girl. We agreed, and she had the dress sent to us right away. We barely spoke about the subject for a while. Then the wedding was delayed by almost a year. The original date was in March 2024. I'm still not sure why. I've heard 3 or 4 different reasons. By the time the actual wedding date came around, the flower girl dress did not fit my daughter anymore. We didn't find out till roughly 10 days before the wedding, which is admittedly my fault, and I texted Debbie right away to ask what I should do about it. Her first reply was, figure it out. I tried to ask her where she'd bought the dress, where I could get a similar one, or whether it would be okay for my daughter to wear a different dress.
Honestly, dude, after she gives you the figure it out, you just do whatever you want.
To play devil's advocate, though, also, why didn't you check if the flower girl dress fit till 10 days before the wedding?
Yeah, well, it did get pushed back a lot.
But she knew the date, and she said, admittedly my fault.
Yeah, you're bad, but also, yeah.
Also, she doesn't deserve to be, she shouldn't be rude to you for that. I basically gave her a list of ways I could fix this, and asked her what she preferred. Debbie responded with, I don't have time for this. Stop making your whale daughter my problem.
All right, now I'm not going to your wedding, dude.
Oh my God.
You just called my kid a whale? I'm not going to your wedding.
That's insane. Obviously, I decided against attending the wedding after that. As far as I'm concerned, we're no longer friends. And to be clear, I know that up until this point, I was not the a-hole. I didn't tell anyone about it at first, but our absence was obvious. My friend missed me, and my daughter was supposed to be the only flower girl. Whenever Debbie was asked about it, she apparently just said we'd had an argument, but it wasn't a big deal. When our mutual friends and acquaintances asked me, I told them the truth, without sugarcoating it or trying to defend Debbie. I even showed my friends the text messages that proved everything. Everyone took my side.
I don't see you being an a-hole here at all. It's just you were like, oh, hey, it's the consequences of your actions showing up. I'm telling people the truth, and they are admittedly deciding that you suck.
Yeah. About a week ago, Debbie called me. She apologized for what she said about my daughter, but told me I have no idea how stressed she was at the time.
Don't care. It's really easy not to insult children.
She said it wasn't fair for her to lose friends over a mistake she'd made when she was under so much pressure. Again, I don't think I was in the wrong for skipping the wedding, but I'm wondering whether I took it too far by telling our mutuals why. Edit, yes, I know I should have made sure the dress still fit sooner. I already know that was my mistake, and I'm not blaming Debbie for it. That's not what I'm asking about. We have some comments. Comment 1. In my 50 years on the planet, and also having been in more than a few stressful situations, I have never insulted a child in that way, even if they're the ones who caused the problem. I cannot even imagine doing so. The original situation is also her fault. She sent the dress far too early. Opie says, that's part of the reason why I believe I might have been the a-hole. I don't believe she would have talked about my daughter that way if she wasn't extremely stressed out. Obviously not an excuse, but certainly something I have to take into consideration.
No, you're wrong. You're going about that all wrong.
Also, like, part of me always wonders, and this will be something that I guess I'll eventually know, but how people can turn so crazy from the pressures of getting married.
Why I always say the same thing, man.
Secret wedding.
You have the secret wedding first, and then your wedding with everyone else won't be that stressful because it's already done.
What if
Or it would at least reduce it.
What if I super sleuth and find out when your secret wedding is, and I like send you pictures from afar taken through like binoculars?
I'd be nothing but impressed. I would only be impressed.
This is my life's goal now, guys.
But dude, like circling back to what she said about, it's like, yeah, but I need to consider it because she was really stressed. It's like, no, she called your daughter a whale because she was just trying to be viciously mean to you.
Right.
And then when she went to apologize to you, like you said, her being stressed out is not an excuse. But what did she do? In her apology, she's like, but I was so stressed. Nope.
Excuses.
You should have just been on your knees begging me because you're like, I said something so messed up about your child and there's no reason for that. And I just hope you can forgive me.
Also, her wedding was a year later and the kid was 5. Gonna still grow. Like,
Yeah, that has
probably
nothing to
just
do
got
with my
taller,
daughter being
dude.
a whale, you freaking idiot.
It's insane to say. Comment 2. Not the a-hole. It's not that difficult to not refer to a 6-year-old child as a whale.
It is not, yeah,
Even
not hard.
when stressed. Little kids can grow a lot in a year, and her response was totally uncalled for. Stress is no excuse for that kind of nastiness, and I think she does deserve to lose friends over it. OP says, I don't think it matters here, but I will say that my daughter is not overweight. The dress didn't fit purely because she's growing up. Comment 3. You were kind of an a-hole for waiting until 10 days before the wedding to figure out your daughter wouldn't fit in the dress, but truly it was small potatoes overall. Small potatoes. She went so far outside the bounds of decency that a-hole doesn't even cover it. Just block her and move on. Not the a-hole in so far as sharing who she really is with mutuals. I guess she ought to work on her under pressure behavior. OP says, I wouldn't call OP an a-hole. What?
Negligent, maybe?
Wait, OP says I wouldn't call OP an a-hole?
Huh?
I don't think this is OP, maybe just a replier. I
Yeah.
wouldn't call OP an a-hole. Negligent, maybe, but not an a-hole. She would be an a-hole if she deliberately waited until there was only 10 days left to try to resolve the issue because she wanted to stress the bride out or something. OP's life doesn't revolve around her friend's delayed wedding. Life gets busy, especially with small children. She's certainly not the most on top of things for forgetting to check the dress fit. So let's call her negligent for that, but not an a-hole. Also, I will say, OP came with solution.
Yeah, exactly. Solution based.
It should have been figured out sooner, but she had solutions.
Exactly.
And we have a judgment of not the a-hole, and we have an update.
Yeah. You know what? Let's go.
Let's dive right in. 6 months later. Hey guys, I wasn't going to update, but a friend of mine brought the situation up a few days ago, and I remembered posting here. After my post back in March, I didn't hear anything from Debbie for a while. I did speak to my friends a lot, and they told me that she did continue trying to get them on her side for a while. From what I gather, her story always matched mine. I forgot to make sure the dress fit. I apologized and asked how she preferred I fixed it. She insulted my kid, and as I remember discussing in the comments, whale of a daughter is a better translation. Everyone continued taking my side. Apparently, I wasn't the only one Debbie had problems with before the wedding. My case was just the worst one. There's no doubt that the dress fiasco was my fault. I had a lot going on at the time and several reasons why I forgot to make sure it fit sooner, but no excuse can change the fact that I messed up. But I still don't think giving Debbie options on how I could proceed was the wrong move. I've been a bride before, and I wouldn't want someone else to make a decision about my wedding without giving me the final say. And I can't ignore that her reaction was to insult my daughter. Debbie first texted me in June. She asked me to help her clear the air with everyone, because most of our mutuals hadn't spoken to her since April. I was tired of all of this, so I told everyone that Debbie had already apologized to me. I made it very clear that while we're no longer friends, I sincerely don't care whether they remain in contact with her or not.
Well, then why are you doing this?
Yeah, if you don't care about that, you should have just said, we're not friends anymore, something happened, none of y'all's beeswax.
You don't have to be the mediator in this situation. She's like, help me clear the air. I'm like, why would I do that? I'm not friends with you anymore. And it's like,
we're saying different. Okay, I got
they
what
have
you're saying.
made their decision about also not being friends with you. I guess you shouldn't have said that, huh? Oops. And it's not like OP went out and like made like a whole campaign against her. It was like
No.
her friends reached out, asked what happened, and she told them exactly what happened.
She texted me once again early in July. She told me that a couple of our mutuals were talking to her again, but it wasn't the same as it used to be. She asked me whether I was still mad at her. I told her I'm not, and I wish her the best, but I don't think we can continue this friendship. I said I was sorry for the dress fiasco, and I understood that she was stressed at the time, but I'll never be able to look past what she did. It would have taken her less time to give me directions than it took to call my daughter a whale. I can forgive rudeness with time, but not insults, especially towards my children. And by the way, all of our children, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, your favorite podcast app, search OK Storytime.
Yes.
We've got a little bit more.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm like, you are not the a-hole for telling it how it is, but if you're also not going to go back to being friends and don't really seem to be in the group at all anymore, maybe just be like, we had a falling out. I'm not friends with her anymore. It is what it is. None of y'all's business to know. I don't think that you were wrong for explaining why, but I also don't like if it's just continually causing drama that you're not even wanting to be a part of, stop spreading it.
I don't think it is though. It was just like one friend mentioned something in like 6 months afterwards, and then it's like, then Debbie reached out and is like, can you help me? And it's like,
well, it sounds like
no.
Debbie's still being super isolated from it, and I don't think that Debbie deserves the forgiveness to not be isolated from it, but also like, I don't know. She does make it sound like it's still coming up enough that she's talking about it.
I mean, Debbie's getting iced out. Debbie's getting iced out because who wants to be friends with someone who insults a 4-year-old girl and calls her a whale?
No, for sure. Totally agree.
For just like not for just just
for the
it's
mom
just crazy.
not checking a dress.
And it's like a lot of times in like a you find out who people really are in high pressure situations. And it's like that's someone who will just insult all the people around her.
Agreed. We haven't spoken since. I haven't blocked her, but I have no intention of reaching out again, and I don't think she does either. Some of our mutuals are speaking to her again. Both my best friends from that group want nothing to do with her. I sincerely don't care what anyone does. I won't pretend this never happened, but I've moved on. Like I said, I'm not mad anymore. My daughter will be the flower girl at my cousin's wedding in December, and my family is doing very well. Life has been crazy for a while, but things are finally getting calmer. Comments. Comment 1. Whale, 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 Debbie. If it isn't the consequences of your actions.
Whale.
Whale, whale, whale. I love you, commenter. Comment 2. He's Dory. He speaks whale. Comment 2. Out of sheer curiosity, who else did she PO at the wedding? Yours was clearly the worst, but F, she must have pissed off a lot of people. Reply, is she still married? I have a theory that bridezillas often don't feel happy about getting married.
I have a theory. A game theory. That's the theory.
Okay. Comment 3. I want to know the 3 to 4 reasons floating around for the year-long delay on the wedding. OP says, I heard she had problems with her in-laws at some point, but I also heard it had something to do with the venue. Early on, she also claimed that both she and her now husband were busy at work. I vaguely remember hearing at least 2 more reasons, but I don't remember them well and can't confirm anything. Comment 4. I don't think you need to fall on your sword about the dress not fitting after a year. It's an easy mistake to make, and you didn't cause the delay. She made the situation needlessly worse. That's on her, not you. Someone says, right? How hard would it have been to say, I trust your judgment. Having your daughter involved is the main thing, not the dress. That's the end of that story.
Which, like, I agree with that last comment. And, like, high key, that's how I would have interpreted. Figure it out. I'd have been like, all right. Green light to do whatever I want.
Right.
Cool. Won't
gonna
ask you about it.
Just go buy another dress real quick.
But I'm glad you didn't do that because it exposed your friend for the meanie that she
It
was.
did. Can you imagine if you had to have gone through that day and when the daughter shows up, she makes that comment to your daughter?
Right. Which I don't think, again,
I don't
she
think
said
she
she was just
would
stressed out. I don't
have.
think she would ever do that.
But she was going to be more
But-
stressed on the day.
Sure.
Might have slipped.
The whole thing for me was the apology. The apology including that,
Was
like,
not sincere.
but I said it because I was so stressed. No, it just needed to be like fully like, I don't even know if you'll ever forgive me, but I just wanted to say I'm
Right.
really sorry and I do understand how messed up that was.
Not, you have to forgive all my actions because I was a little stressed out.
Just,
Yeah.
it was like, I'm sorry, but like, not really.
You have to forgive me. Like, it has to be okay because, like, I was
Yeah.
stressed.
I'm sorry, but you should understand that it's really not my fault. Crazy. But we have another story coming right up.
We
It's
got-
Labor Day.
Another one.
Hope all our
Hello,
labors are going well.
everybody.
My friend had an affair with a married man and I refused to tolerate it.
Yes, you shouldn't, though.
Oh yeah. And this comes directly from one of you.
It's one of you.
It's one of you out there. Ooh. Ooh, it's one of you out there. And they'll be like, that's not what British people sound like.
How is your British?
Yeah, just
I'm,
like
I'm
an
on
old,
Facebook sites for that one. You just sounded like an old man.
just an old British witch.
One of you.
It's one of you out there who are.
Anyway.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, it's Labor Day. Give me a break. Myself, 23 female, and my best friend, 23 female, have been friends for 18 years, quick math, since the age of 5. We met in primary school and have been friends ever since. We attended different high schools, but maintained a close relationship despite this. We were at each other's houses every weekend and would text and call all week long. We've been extremely close for our entire lives. By the way, this comes from user Medical Ambition 613 on the r/okstorytime subreddit. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Carly.
And OP says, I've been a support system for her since we were small. She didn't have the best upbringing. Her parents were separated due to infidelity, as did mine, and her mother, who she lived with, had a drinking problem. Normally, when there was an issue at home, she would always come to my house, so I think it's safe to say we had a strong friendship where we could always rely on each other. Jane moved in with me and my partner, 23 male, in October of 23 until February 2025. During this time, she went through a really traumatic breakup. Her partner of 2 years cheated on her whilst on a lad's trip abroad, and it absolutely broke her. It took her a long time to be right again, and this period was very worrying for me as I felt helpless to make her feel better. Now, on to what happened. A few months ago, Jane came over to my house, and whilst we were chatting away, she mentioned that someone had added her on Instagram, complimenting her and asking her out for a drink. The issue? He wouldn't reveal his identity, despite her asking many times. Naturally, I said this was unbelievably creepy and she should block him. I don't think I need to explain the dangers of going out for a drink with an anonymous person. But for some reason, she continued to talk to this stranger. And through asking questions about his life, she had figured out who he was. A client at her salon who is married with a child and his wife is pregnant. This is not the rebound we need right now, Jane. Baby, come on. No!
I'm upset. I have no words because I'm upset.
Come on. Once you do the sleuthing and you find this out, you go, oh.
You go,
And then you-
oh, you're disgusting.
Yeah.
And I want nothing to do with you, especially because I was just cheated on.
Come on. I told Jane in no uncertain terms that she should cut contact with this man immediately. She had been seeing a few other men at this point, so it wasn't like she was short of options. And a married man is certainly not an option. I then reminded her how my own father's infidelity ruined my life and caused me so many issues growing up, and still now in adulthood. The same could be said for her, so how could she do that to another family? I finished our conversation by saying if she went through with it, I would never speak to her again. After that conversation, I heard nothing from her regarding this, so I assumed she had cut contact. I was sadly very wrong. About a month later, she came over to my house for dinner, and as we were finishing up, she said, I need to tell you something, but I'm scared because you said you would never speak to me again.
Okay.
Clearly,
So-
you weren't scared enough, huh?
Yeah. If you really cared about that consequence, you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, maybe you wouldn't have done it. Maybe just maybe, you would have said, what are my values? Oh, I value my friend more than hooking up with a married man with a child and a wife who's pregnant. Straight away, I knew what she was talking about, and I felt sick to my stomach. She went on to explain how she slept with a married guy and she feels so guilty, blah, 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 blah. Naturally, I was lost for words. The only question I had for her was, did you tell the wife? Some people may disagree with me on this topic, but I believe someone should know when they are being cheated on, especially when that person is pregnant. I worried about his extramarital relations having health repercussions for the baby and the wife, not to mention, morally speaking, she has a right to know. Her response was no, because that would make her look bad, and she continued to list off reasons not to tell her. All of the reasons were completely selfish. It was all about her self-image and the repercussions it would have on her life and work. She didn't mention the wife or family once. I was disgusted and told her that these are all things I warned her about well before she chose to sleep with him, and the repercussions were clear enough to her back then. I told her nothing she can do now will make it right, but the small thing she can do is to tell that poor woman. She left my house shortly after, and when she had gone, I texted her to say I meant what I said. Since then, she has pleaded with me to reconnect, sent a card and flowers, contacted our mutual friends, and asked me out to talk, all of which I have refused or ignored, until last night when I responded to her latest text asking to talk. I told her we had nothing to talk about. She responded with an angry, self-centered tirade about how the ball's in my court, she's done everything she possibly could, and has taken full accountability. Nah, girl!
No. Your friend, or OP, told you the consequences that your actions would have, and now she's following through with them. She's like, I told you I wouldn't be your friend anymore if you did this, and you did this. The ball is never leaving my court again because I'm holding that boundary now.
She took
Bye-bye.
the ball and went home like she said she would.
She's not playing a game anymore. She's gone.
In my opinion, she's done everything she can to avoid doing the right thing. She thinks sending apology messages and some flowers to me will make it better, but I'm not the one she should be apologizing to. She's missing the whole point. She only feels bad because she lost a friend, not because she's done something horrible, and she seems unable to grasp that. The rest of our friendship group is equally as disgusted and don't want to continue having a relationship with her. Others have told me that when she apologized to them, she couldn't understand why we weren't okay with it now that she has apologized. Like it doesn't matter that she's done something terrible because she's sorry now. She went on to say how everyone makes mistakes. Okay, Hannah Montana.
Everybody has those days.
Yeah, everybody makes mistakes. This wasn't a mistake. This was a choice, and she knew the repercussions. I responded to her message calling her out for making it all about herself and once again not mentioning the family she has home-wrecked. I reminded her that apologizing to everyone but that family is not taking accountability. I know that what happened is between her, the married guy, and his family, but she made it my business when she told me, and when I told her in no uncertain terms that this would destroy our friendship. And by the way, you could never destroy the full episodes with stories just like this that you can find on your favorite podcast platform, be it Spotify or iHeart or Apple Podcasts. All you got to do is search OK Storytime and you can listen to the full archive.
Over 70 days.
And you'll never be able to destroy them.
Never.
But we do have a little bit more story here. I will not be friends with someone who can be so thoughtless and devoid of conscience to knowingly destroy a family like this and would disregard our friendship so easily for a one-night stand. I love her, she is family, and I constantly find myself hoping that in the future we might recover from this, but I just don't see how right now, especially when she knows what the right thing to do is and refuses to do it every day. So am I the a-hole for ending our 18-year friendship despite her apologizing? I would appreciate any advice. And there are some comments. Number 1, doesn't sound like you need any advice. Your reasoning is justifiable and you're sticking with your morals, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everything you said lined up. You told her not to, but she did anyway, and it was indeed a choice she made, not necessarily a mistake on a wasted night or something like that. At the end of the day, it is your decision to part ways, just like it was her decision to sleep with him. The only thing I could say as a neutral party is that no one is perfect. And to sort of play devil's advocate a smidge, I just don't know if her telling the wife is the right thing to do, or at least it shouldn't come from her. From my own perspective, I feel like sleeping with someone's spouse and then going out of your way to tell them about it can come off as kind of malicious, because why go as far as sleeping with him and then go out of your way to tell his wife you slept with him? Might as well hadn't have done it in the first place. If there's anyone who should tell, it's the husband, or if you feel so strongly about it, you reach out and tell. Comment 2, unpopular opinion, but you're the a-hole. At least you know it's unpopular, my guy. Let's see what kind of reasoning this could possibly be. You don't have to agree with her choices, and I think you were right in telling her that her behavior was unacceptable. At the end of the post, you say you love her, but you seemed to discard her pretty easily. Life is messy, and people F up. You'll F up someday, and you'd hope that your friends wouldn't all abandon you either.
Yeah, but it's almost like she told you in advance the consequences of that F up and then still did it, and then you just held your own morals.
Literally explained, hey, we now know that this guy's married with a wife and a kid on the way. If you do pursue this man and sleep with him, given our shared traumatic backgrounds with infidelity and affairs in our family, I won't be associating with you anymore.
Right. She knows what happened to your family, and she's okay with this.
This is the friend.
Yeah, 100%.
This commenter is now the friend. It seems like she's really trying to repair things with you. Maybe you can give her a bit of grace instead of judging her and punishing her forever. But if her friendship isn't actually important to you, keep doing what you're doing. Bro, shut up. Because she even says it. She's like, I hope one day we can maybe fix this, but it's definitely not happening right now.
Right.
Anyway, there's a reply to that comment. People mess up, but OP not only warned her that she was doing something wrong, OP also warned her about the consequences of her actions. For OP, this is extremely personal. Her own dad cheated on her mom, so her friend participating in cheating on another mother is extremely personal. Not to mention her friend took 2 years to recover from a cheating boyfriend. How could she participate with a husband cheating on their pregnant wife? All of their friends are abandoning her because no one wants to associate with a cheater, and any of them who have partners would not trust her around them because she has proven that she doesn't respect relationship status. So yes, the friendship was important to OP, but her friend made character choices that make them incompatible now. This wasn't a mistake, it was an intentional choice which revealed what kind of person she is. OP can still care about her but not want to associate with someone with a different moral standard. And that is the end of that story.
Boom.
Yeah, dude.
That one commenter was just insane. So I'm glad that reply said exactly what we were saying to them so that they hear it too.
True. Yeah, you gotta have, but sometimes you gotta have the comment that makes everyone go, nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
No, you're wrong.
My friend caused problems at my wedding, so I blocked her.
Stop. You're no longer associating with me.
I, 30 female, married the love of my life, 30 male, last year, but our wedding continues to be talked about by all the guests because of one group of girls. I met these girls as part of an online community about 6 years ago, and we used to be very close. One of them, Trisha, 35 female, has a tendency to bully others or joke in really nasty ways. By the way, this comes from Fisherman Dazzling 429 on the r/charlottedobreyoutube subreddit. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/okstorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Dakota.
And OP says, think constantly judging those around her quite loudly, aggressively questioning people, playing the victim when you set boundaries, getting super angry if she feels you haven't told her something. Her rude behavior has meant I've distanced myself over the past couple of years, particularly as I seem to become her new target. This came to a head one day when she mocked my PCOS and excess hair growth, then tried to pluck hair from my face without warning at the dinner table. I snapped, shouted right back, and asked her, who gave you the right to touch me? I still love the other girls, Kimberly, 30 female, and Stacy, 28 female, but they always want to meet up as a whole group, so I struggle to avoid Trisha. They put up with her behavior, and I'm starting to think this makes them just as bad. I did not ask any of these girls to be my bridesmaids for the above reasons. Plus, I already had a wonderful group of women to fill these positions. I think this may have offended them, but they never said anything directly. They asked me what colors to avoid for their dresses. I was in white, bridesmaids in baby pink, groom in navy blue, groomsmen in baby blue. So I told them to avoid these colors. Come to the wedding day, and one of my bridesmaids comes up to inform me that these girls had all arrived wearing navy blue floor-length bridesmaids dresses in almost the exact same style as my bridesmaids' baby pink ones. I was gobsmacked. I knew there was nothing I could do, as confronting them would be what everyone spoke about at my wedding. And this is when you have someone there assigned to just be like, get out.
Yeah, you need to have a problem solver.
I like, they call it like maids of chaos or something.
Maids
Or
of
maids
chaos?
of dishonor. I think it's maids of dishonor. Like if you're maid of honor and you're maid of dishonor, and the maid of dishonor is just there to take care of chaos.
Just there to say, you leave now.
Instead, my bridesmaids went and spoke to their partners and parents who were also at the wedding, and their group started calling them the fake bridesmaids, which I found hilarious. The ceremony went really well, but Trisha was very loudly crying at the back and trying to take photos the whole time. We had a big sign and announcement about no photos during the wedding, as we had hired professionals. She posted some to her Instagram story before we'd even ended our ceremony. I only found this out the next day when I turned my phone on. We had a list of posed family photos to appease the elder generations. As I walked up to the bar after photographs to talk to my sister, Trisha dragged my photographer by her sleeve while shouting at me that we didn't get a group photo. I was mortified and told her to let go of my photographer and apologize.
Yo, like, who is Trisha
That's
to not
insane.
understand physical boundaries and personal space as a full-blown adult? What are you, a little toddler?
She's the oldest of the group, too.
Yeah.
She's 35.
She's the
She's done this
oldest.
to OP's face and to her photographer's arm now.
She's going, Mom, we need a group photo, Mom.
Why didn't you take my picture?
Mom, we messed up, Mom. We need a group photo.
We purposely look like fake bridesmaids. Why didn't you take our photo?
Yeah, and that's when you need to cold water her, and you'd be like,
Literal
because you're
cold
being
water.
cringe with your fake bridesmaid dresses. You think no one notices this? We all notice.
We've been laughing about you. Trisha said I should be apologizing because I excluded them from photographs. The photographer said it was fine, and we quickly snapped a photo. Trisha immediately asked to see it, which the photographer explained she wouldn't show any photos until she sent me the previews 48 hours after the wedding. I don't know what that noise was, guys. It's Jeff's back. Trisha loudly stormed off, calling out to her boyfriend to get her a drink because she was stressed by this wedding drama. You need to know this for context. Our wedding favors were little animals I had crocheted over 2 years.
No way.
With themes and colors I associated with each person.
So
Stop.
thoughtful. What?
Oh my God.
The best.
These were really personal and took enormous effort to make. During food and speeches, I was informed by wait staff that Trisha had been talking over the speeches consistently, and one of my guests told her to shut the F up. By this point, Trisha was quite wasted and had been cut off from the bar. One of my friends, Tom, witnessed Trisha taking 2 extra glasses of Prosecco off another table where guests were unable to attend last minute.
Where's your bouncer, though? Like, this
That's
is
what
where
I'm
you go,
saying.
Get her out.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, you
get
you
a
drank
maid
too
of
much.
dishonor. Hey.
Hey, I got a bottle outside. You want to have
Hey,
some?
Jingle, jingle, jingle. Jingle, jingle. Follow the keys.
Oh, jingle, jingle, jingle. Oh, jingle,
Follow-
jingle, jingle.
follow. After the first dance, my uncle nervously asked why he and his fiancée didn't receive wedding favors. I was surprised because I had set up all the tables and had my maid of honor check everything before guests entered.
I swear to God, if Trisha stole the little crochet
I'm about to be
animals,
so mad.
oh my God.
Throughout the night, I had other people mention they didn't get favors. It became apparent someone had gone into the room and taken them after my maid of honor checked. I checked with venue staff who confirmed they didn't move or touch anything and had no security footage. At every opportunity, Trisha tried to barge into conversations I was having. She also tapped me on the shoulder during our end of night dance with my husband so I could turn around for a selfie. I was emotionally drained. I didn't turn around and waited for my sister to walk up. My sister started shouting at her. How dare she interrupt me and my husband? Turns out, because Trisha was talking over speeches, she'd missed the bit about my sister and had no clue this woman shouting at her was my sister. Trisha shouted back, "Who do you think you are to talk to me like that? I'm her best friend. Who the F are you?" Is this girl really your best friend if you don't know her sister?
Honestly, like, I'm disappointed in just all of you for having not removed her earlier. I'm sorry. You're not an a-hole for that, but like,
Maybe to yourself.
honestly, yeah, because at this point, after she was so drunk that she had to be cut off from the bar, she should have been escorted out. She should have been taken out.
And she's there with her partner and her family. Like, why are they not being like, calm down?
Straight up, like, something needed to be done. And yeah, I don't know.
The look on Trisha's face when my brother-in-law explained who they were was priceless. Trisha immediately burst into tears, saying it was horrible how we all embarrassed her and that she should be introduced to everyone immediately. Fast forward 48 hours and Tom asks to pop round for a chat. When he arrives, Tom explains that my maid of honor was messaging everyone about wedding favors being stolen. Upon receiving this message, Tom realized he had witnessed what happened. Trisha was walking around while everyone was taking their seats, picking up wedding favors and putting them in a bag that looked like it came from your wedding. Tom assumed I had instructed this as a task. Only now did he realize this wasn't the case and they weren't my bridesmaids. I started crying. It felt like a new low for Trisha's behavior, and I knew I needed to cut her off.
No, I know what you need to do is get those little crochet animals back.
Step 1, animal crochets back. Step 2, never talk to her again.
Step 3, push her into Mount Doom.
Step 4, forget about it. I waited a couple months until we had an event together, then played innocent but mentioned how I couldn't believe someone stole my hours of hard work. The girls were giving each other shifty looks. Trisha acted shocked and said, "This wouldn't have happened if I was maid of honor. I would have had better control." Saying a lot coming from someone who was gone the whole night.
Belligerently wasted.
I knew if I outright accused her, she would manipulate the situation. So I started to tear up, explaining that anyone who could do that is not only no friend of mine, but a cold-hearted a-hole. Tom had bought a ticket to this event as part of our plan. After initial greetings, he mentioned the text from my maid of honor and said he was surprised to hear favors were stolen, particularly as Trisha had been tidying them up for me before we sat down for food. Trisha's mouth was hitting the floor as Tom asked, "Isn't that right, girls?" Trisha immediately claimed she had nothing to do with it and was just socializing. I then said I'd get my answer once I got security footage back from the venue, knowing there wasn't any. Trisha then admitted to taking 2 favors from the table next to her, where she noticed 2 people hadn't attended. I started screaming at her about how she should have asked me. It was inappropriate to assume, and I needed them back. She told me I needed to learn how to calm down, as this wasn't appropriate communication. No, but the lying was?
Bro, you literally just lied through your teeth at her. And now you're saying she's communicating inappropriately? Go back to whatever moon you came from, you little creature.
I ignored this and said I needed those favors back by next weekend. Not even 24 hours later, 2 wedding favors were left outside my house, but they weren't the ones for the unattending couple. I took to Facebook and posted a screenshot of my layout detailing which favor went with which person, along with the 2 favors returned by Trisha. I thanked her for returning these, but noted they were the wrong ones. I called Trisha out for taking more, explaining she admitted taking 2 from that couple, but these clearly weren't those favors. Stacy called and apologized for not saying anything in front of Trisha, but she wasn't willing to feel her wrath. She said she had 1 extra that Trisha had given her and would return it immediately. She explained she and Kimberly wanted to take me out for drinks to apologize properly. I don't blame them for not telling me, but I consider this behavior just as bad as the stealing. Trisha responded on Facebook, saying this should have been communicated privately and she only took favors from people who left them behind after food, as they clearly didn't appreciate them. My family called her out. Trisha removed her comments and sent me a gift with an apology card. That gift wasn't that box of those crocheted animals. I don't want to hear it. I still don't want to hear it if it is.
I've never been so mad over crochet animals.
Right? I still haven't received any other favors back from her. By the way, do me a favor, guys, and go listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, favorite podcast app, search OK Storytime. We've got a little bit more. I know you're stewing over there.
I'm pulling up. This is like, I've done this one other time. I've done this once in my life where I just pulled up and I refused to leave until I got it back. And it was a hoodie that some girl took from me. It was like, and it was like one of my favorite ones. And we just, whatever. And she was like, I'm going to keep this. And I was like, no, you're not. And then like, we kind of stopped talking and she still had it. And I texted her a couple times. Like, first I was like, hey, I need that hoodie back for like a photo shoot. Like, I need that back. No response. Hey, I need that back. No response. I just rocked up to her place and I went knock, 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 until she answered. And I said, I need that back now. And you know who got their hoodie back? This guy.
That is one way to do it for sure.
I would rock up to her house and be like, I'm not going anywhere until you give those back to me. Like right now, or until you tell me where they are. And then, and then you can just lie to her, be like, and then we'll be best friends again.
That's
oh
all
my God.
I need to be best friends again.
I just love you so much.
Never talk to her again.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I'm on that train for sure. Since then, I haven't had real conversations with this group. I heard through the grapevine that Trisha was discussing how I looked at my wedding with other guests, saying I'd clearly done a standard job shaving my beard, and it was a shame I still had fat on my back. The other two girls were telling her to stop as it was rude. So Reddit, do I meet up with the girls for the apology drink? Do I walk away from the whole thing? Do I try communicating with Trisha about the rest of the favors? Edit, their group photo plus any candids Trisha was in were the only photos not added to the Google Share Drive for guests. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, don't be sorry. I would go just for trying to get more information about the crochet animals.
I just want the crocheted animals back.
Yeah, you go. Maybe you accept their apology, maybe not. Either way, I'm distancing myself.
We're not accepting Trisha's,
I'm distancing myself from anyone who willingly is friends with Trisha.
Yeah.
If they like, take you out for drinks and they're like, yeah, we're just trying to figure out how to get rid of her. That's one thing. But like, get those crochet animals back, girl.
Look it. We got so many right here. I would be so sad. Wrong camera. There we go. Imagine these little guys.
Come on, dude.
Stolen away from their little worm home.
And just like and she's just such a little cretin. Being like, yeah, well, I only stole 2 from the people who weren't here, which is also a lie. And then it's just
She just keeps
so
getting
dumb.
caught and then keeps lying.
Yeah.
And then gets caught again. It's terrible.
If she was the ring from Lord of the Rings, I would cast her into the fire. Only if she were the ring. I would never do that to a person. So that's not a call for violence.
Yeah.
And honestly, if we get banned for that, whatever platform bans us is pro Sauron, pro Mordor. Have fun with that.
But that's the end of that story.
Yeah.